Hello everybody. I come to you today to talk about how to deal with sadness, how to deal with downward spirit experiences that we have. I would even say some level of depression, but I know that there's deep depression that requires far more extensive treatment and counseling and things of that nature. But today I'm going to talk about specifically those levels of experiences that you have that are very sad emotionally, and they range obviously, and that range will determine what you need to do and to what extent that you need to do it. And some people listening to this may not be able to do it by themselves, so that's a very important statement to make. But I just thought it was really timely to talk about this, just given the spirit and the energy of not only our country, but even the world, I would say. Not just basketball fans, but people who have hearts. And that's what we experience when we see pain. We experience pain. And interestingly enough, we pray. If you're like me, you pray for discernment. You ask for God to sharpen your spiritual senses, your spiritual antennas. But when we do that, it also sharpens our empathy, because our mind, our spirit, our emotions, they are all connected. So we don't have a way to completely divide those, okay, I want to hear from you clearly, God, but I don't want to feel the pain that my neighbor is feeling. I don't know how you do that. I have not learned how to do that. What I have learned is that the more clearly I hear from God, the closer I am to Him, the closer I am to the people around me. And so I want to talk about 7 ways to deal with that sadness, whether it's through empathy of people around you, or if it's direct experiences that you're having. And so 7 ways to me were just very important ways that I have used, and I want to share that with you as well, who's out there. So number 1, I talk about controlling your environment. And a very easy way to remember this is by just thinking about your 5 senses. When you see, for example, what do you see? Like, you hear about people buying flowers. The flowers that are in people's homes oftentimes provide a comfort beyond an expensive luxury. It's not only what they see, wow, those flowers are beautiful, I love those colors, and it's what they smell. So those are 2 senses right there. They smell the scent of the flower that gives them positive energy. They see the beauty of the flower, the shape that God has made it, the color that God has made it. Another way that we use scent as far as a way to up our mood is through aromatherapy. I personally live by aromatherapy, whether it is to go to sleep. Different people prefer different scents to help calm them and sleep, or if it's while I'm working to help me focus. Aromatherapy is a very powerful tool, especially if you have a strong sense of smell like I do. Another one of the 5 senses is hearing. What do you listen to? For example, me, I specifically listen to fast music. Why do I do that? Because I want to accomplish a lot throughout the day, and I want my energy to stay upbeat and my attitude to stay very positive. For me, fast music does that. I can use music that is slow in different ways as well. So for example, if I want to relax and I want to get in tuned with my senses, I may choose slow music. But generally, if I'm feeling down or if I need to improve my energy level, I go to fast music that I know is going to give me that thrive. And that is the power of even drums and music. Bass gives you drive and energy. And so that is what you expect when you listen to that fast music. And so hearing is a very powerful way of managing your environment. We talked about smell. We talked about taste. We didn't talk about taste. So taste is another one. What are you eating? Are you eating food that you love? For me, there are certain foods that just drive an amazing energy for me. Indian food, drives a phenomenal energy for me. The spices, Creole food, New Orleans style, I absolutely love because it gives me a kick. It helps me to taste and really appreciate what I'm eating. I love soul food because it's nostalgic for me. I don't eat a lot of soul food because I grew up eating it every single day. But I know if I eat soul food, it's going to give me a feeling of familiarity because that's what I grew up on. So taste can give you power in managing your environment. Feeling, obviously. We know that hugs are therapeutic. And so hugging others who you know love you, have your back, gives you energy. Whether it's a significant other, or if you have children, or even a friend, giving a hug is power. If you see a person in church, for example, an environment where you feel safe, that extension of that hug is powerful, even if you don't know the person very well. A hug can be so powerful if you are living in the moment and you are receiving that positive energy from the other person. Another way that you can manage your environment through touch is objects as well. So for example, training my daughter to sleep in the bed by herself. Stuffed animal is great because the stuffed animal gives that comfort. It feels good. Similarly, I have a comforter that I absolutely love. It's like a faux fur, not a real fur, but it's a faux fur and it feels amazing. And that sense of touch makes me feel good. So what you touch can also make you feel good. So looking at those 5 basic senses can help you to manage your environment and give you power to uplift your mood. Number 2 is managing your people interaction. Managing your people interaction manages your energy. For example, if you know that there's someone who gives a lot of positive energy, well, you would definitely want to talk to that person, wouldn't you, if you're feeling down. On the flip side, if you know that there's someone that drains you or challenges your energy, you may not be in a place where you can have a conversation with that person today. You may have to wait until tomorrow to have a conversation with that person. If it's a coworker, for example, you may have to talk to them, but you can manage and control the situation in which you speak to them. Perhaps you need to postpone that meeting or have that meeting in a time when you know you don't have as many pressures going on. Not only the timing is important as far as the people interaction and with whom you choose to interact, but also placing those limit boundaries. So for example, if you know that you're dealing with someone who's toxic, but you have to deal with them, place a limit regarding how long you can speak with that person. It may be a timer, for example, or you may strategically speak with them immediately before a forced appointment that you have, which forces that interaction to be, say, 5 minutes or what have you. But you want to manage those interactions, manage your energy in a way where you are going to protect yourself, because that is very important at the end of the day, that you protect yourself and you protect your energy. Number 3 is managing your media intake. And this is very important because every single day we are exposed to different energies and different information coming at us from multiple directions. I was actually listening to an audiobook or reading a book by Timothy Ferriss, and he said that he didn't watch the news. And I said, wow, this was probably about 10 years ago. And I found that fascinating. And I said, well, how could he really not watch the news? How can you not be interested in what's going on? And so I started trying it out, and it was amazingly powerful as far as the difference in how I control my time and my energy. And don't get me wrong, being on social media even a little bit is hard to avoid negative news, negative energy, gossip, what have you. But when you make an effort to not watch it, it decreases the amount that you receive, which is very powerful. So not only the news, like local news especially, we know is just so depressing, but just avoiding negative media in general. So if you know that there's a show that's going to talk negatively about people throughout that entire time, sure, you may think it distracts you from your life, but what it does is it puts you in a negative mode, even subconsciously, and you don't even realize it. So controlling that media intake is going to be very powerful. Another way of controlling that media intake is do like the shows you watch and the movies. For example, I love drama films. used to love tearjerkers. But when I know I have a lot to accomplish, or if my mood is questionable, I'm going straight to comedy. Comedy all day. So that is what I focus on, is what is going to make me laugh, what is going to make me feel good, especially if I know I'm not going to have that time to basically revamp. Like if it's a tearjerker and I don't have an hour to get back where I need to be in order to be productive and focused and high energy, especially for my daughters, I'm going to focus on those comedies, because the comedies is going to lift you up. It's going to give you energy that you don't even realize that it's giving you. The same with positive stories. So if you're watching shows, if you're watching people on social media, look for those positive stories, those things that motivate you, that energize you, versus those things that may depress or take away. Number 4 is positive affirmations. Positive affirmations give you joy because you are feeding yourself on a conscious level and on a subconscious level. And there are 2 basic ways that I like to focus on positive affirmations. So one is what I call dynamic positive affirmations. So that's me getting up and I'm speaking into existence what I want to happen. Positivity, I'm going to have a great day today. My girls are going to do well at school today. I'm going to have a fun time with the people that I interact with, whether it's work, whether it's driving. I'm going to basically experience something, very innovative today, a new way of doing what I want to do. Speaking positive things give you positive energy and positive expectations. And another form of positive affirmations, which I have found very, very helpful, are recorded positive affirmations. Some people listen to them on YouTube, but you can also record your own. And that way you know that it's going to be immediately available. Sometimes we just don't feel like feeding ourselves positive affirmations if we have to create them. Like if our mood is really that bad, it's like, I really don't feel like saying I'm going to have a great day because I'm not really believing it. But guess what? If you listen to a recorded positive affirmation that you created or someone on the internet created, it's there. It makes it easier for you. And even if you don't immediately feel it, it's planting the seed for your day. So positive affirmations are very powerful. I'm going to be honest, I used to find them hokey and corny, but I have seen it work. I've seen it work for myself when I was consistent about doing it. I've seen the difference in how powerful it can be once you give it a chance. Just like anything, don't give up after the first try if you don't see a difference. Continue to try it for a longer period of time to actually see if it's going to work over a period of time, because there is repetition and power, and there is power in repetition, and that's in most things. Number 5, one of my favorites, is meditating. Meditating is so powerful as far as increasing your energy level to a positive rhythm. There are 3 steps that I focus on in meditating. There are literally hundreds of meditations. But for me, there are 3 elements that I look for when I meditate. Sometimes I look for all 3. Other times I may look for one of these 3 things. But there are 3 major ones that I focus on. And so one is release. So you hear people say when you meditate, sit down, don't focus on anything, let it go. That letting it go releases it. And for me, quite honestly, sometimes when I'm releasing it, it brings to head things that I didn't even know were there. So I may feel intense emotions that then pour out. So it's not that I am producing it, but it's coming out. It's just like whatever we ingest, it comes out somehow, some way. And so that is the power of meditation for me, is when I allow myself to be still, I release that negative energy. And then number 2 of that is a calming that comes in. That's that second benefit that comes from me. I release the tension and I'm calm. And then the third piece, which is most powerful for me, is I'm able to receive from God, because I've let the negative energy go, the things that I was trying to control, the worry that I was holding on to, I let it go. I let myself relax and I receive God. And so that is why meditation is so powerful for me. And especially powerful as well is step number 6, and that is prayer. So for me, when I pray, that is powerful because I am going to my Father and I am petitioning to my Father, God, this is what I believe I need. You know what I need, but this is what I believe I need. This is what I want. And so I'm praying to God to handle that for me. You know, before it used to be like, God, give me this, please, please, please. Now I feel like I have a little bit more maturity where I'm saying, God, this is what I really want. But if it's not the right thing I want, please remove that desire from me. But the bottom line is I'm going to him. That is the power. I'm going to him. And that second phase of that prayer that he is giving me is he's receiving it. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. So I know if I'm giving it to the all-knowing, the all-owning, why am I worried about it? So I'm releasing it again. Through meditation, I'm releasing it. Spiritually, through my energy, through prayer, I'm verbally releasing it. And God is receiving it. And then he's giving back to me what I need. It might be what I asked for, which is really cool, right? Because I'm hoping what I asked for is aligned with him. But it might not be. But either way, he's giving me a blessing. He's giving me a blessing of the answer of, no, this isn't what you need or should have. Or he's saying, you know what? You are my child. I love you. You're my daughter. Here, you can have it. Of course you can have it. I own everything. And then number 7, which is a really cool one, is do what you enjoy. Do what you enjoy doing. So if you enjoy skating or dancing or reading or talking to your best friend, do what you enjoy, what brings you joy. And sometimes even if you're really in a funk, what typically brings you joy doesn't bring you joy. But I push you to do it anyways. Try and do it anyways, because that will spark a spiritual and energy memory. So even if, say, you don't feel the joy of level 10 that you normally feel, maybe you can get to the joy level of number 2 and work its way up through that spiritual energy memory of what you enjoy. So I hope that this blesses you in some way. If not now, perhaps in the future. This is something that you can refer to, or if you know someone who can benefit from it, please share it. These are just things that have worked for me, so I know it may work for someone out there. So I hope you have benefited from this in some way, shape, or form by using either those 7 ways of improving your mood, decreasing sadness, or one of them or all of them. I hope either way that there's some benefit or blessing from it to you. God bless.